Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my theory tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best be prepared for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the Grade 1 2019 Practice Paper S. So if you turn with me to page 17, we'll look at the next question, question 6. So in question 6, we now ask to name the major key of these tonic triads. The first answer is given as an example. There are a couple of ways that we can deal with this so we can be doubly sure that we've got this correct. The first clue, of course, is the key signature. So if you're fully conversant with your key signatures, that's the clue that you're after. So we know that G major has got F sharps, but also a tonic triad must be built with the tonic, the first degree of the scale, at the bottom. So for this to be a G major tonic triad, this bottom note must be a G for it to be G major. So this bottom note will also give us the key as well as the key signature. So we know that in treble clef, this bottom note is an F, the space is spelled face, which tells us we're in F major, and the fact that it's a B flat confirms that this is F major, which has a key signature of B flats. So here we have a key signature of nothing, no sharps, no flats, which tells us we're in C major. And in the bass clef, this bottom note is all cows C. So our bottom note, the tonic, confirms that we are in C major. And then the first, the third and the fifth build up the triad together. So we've already really answered this question, even though we're in a different clef and the chord is in a different place. We know that F major has B flats, and then we'll confirm we know that the bottom note is F because we know that lines are good boys deserve, so G, one below G, is F. So F major is our tonic, and that's our key signature. Again, we have a key signature of nothing. That in itself will tell us we're in C major. And we can confirm that because the bottom note, the root of the tonic triad, F-A-C, the space is spelled face, F-A-C-E, and that confirms that this is C major. And then finally we have a key signature of two sharps, which is the key of D major. We're in the bass clef, and the lines, good boys deserve football always. So G, B, D tells us that our tonic is D, and so that's correct. And so let's press on to the next question. So in question 7, we're looking at semitones. Now, it's helpful to visualise these on a piano keyboard, looking at semitones as absolute next door notes, regardless of whether it's white to white, black to white, or white to black, just so long as they're next door notes. However, that's sort of a double check, but we can be sure to get these right much quicker because we know what these accidentals will do to a note. And so we're asked first of all to draw the higher note, draw a circle around the higher note of each pair. Now we know that a sharp raises by a semitone and a flat lowers by a semitone. And the natural, of course, is just its ground state of being, as it were. So this is a D and this is a D flat. So we know that the flat is going to be lower, so the D itself is the higher of the pair. But let's just confirm that. So here is D, here is D flat, And we can see that the D is the higher, the flat is the lower. And so now we have an F natural, good boys deserve football, and an F sharp. We know that a sharp raises, and so the one with the sharp must be the highest of the two. But let's just double check that. There is F natural, there is F sharp, and you can see that it's higher. So really now we've got the gist, we can just go on and check. So we know a flat lowers a note by a semitone, therefore the natural must be the higher. We'll do one more last check. So this is treble clef, A flat, and then A natural cancels that flat and puts it back to A in its natural state, and so the natural must be higher than the flat. So I think that sort of spells it out. So now we know the flat is lower, the natural is higher, and of course the sharp raises by a semitone, so the sharp must be higher than the natural. So C sharp is higher than C natural. So similar vein of thinking in this next one, but now we've got to draw a circle around the lower of the notes. So a sharp raises by a semitone, therefore the natural must be lower. Go on then, we'll just do another double check. So C natural, C sharp, sharp raises it, the natural must be lower. So now we have an E flat and an E natural. The flat lowers by a semitone, so that must be the lower of the pair. Here we have an F sharp and an F natural. A sharp raises by a semitone, and so the natural must be the lower of the pair. And so we have a B flat and a B natural. We know that a flat lowers by a semitone, therefore that's the lower of the pair. And finally, we have a G sharp and a G natural. And so the sharp raises by a semitone, therefore the natural must be the lower of the pair. So really it's more being careful that you answer the question carefully and circle the correct one just by keeping your focus on we want to circle the lower or the higher of the pair, the sharps and the accidentals, flats and naturals and so on. Sort of do the thinking for us there. But by all means do double check your pitch, referring to piano keyboard if you're not entirely sure. And now we're pressing on to some performance directions, some Italian musical terms and so on. Now then, it's really worth getting to grips with these now whilst there is a manageable amount, because as you progress through the grades, this list will accumulate and get bigger and bigger, because as you progress on to grade 2, it's still all the words that you've learned in grade 1 and all the signs, plus the new ones in grade 2, and then plus extra in grade 3 and so on. So it's really worth spending some time getting to grips with these. If you turn to the back of your PDF document or just look on screen at my website, towards the back I've given you some revision tips on how to go about revising these, just some ideas. And I've also given you a little test as well. And so I do suggest that you have a go of these on your own first of all. Don't peep once you've done a bit of a revise. Don't peep and have a go. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. Work in pencil, and then it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just erase it and have another go. Do be careful though, because these multiple choice can sometimes throw you off scent a little bit, and they can trick you by giving sort of sneaky red herrings, as it were, a false definition. So they set the scene by giving us this first one, an octave with the line over the top means an octave higher. And so now we continue. So this little sign here is an accent sign. Now decrescendo, another way, the same thing as this symbol here as the volume closes off, and also the same meaning is given to diminuendo. All these three mean the same thing, gradually getting quieter. Allegretto means fairly quick. Allegro is quick, and then sort of quantifying that, allegretto is fairly quick. MP, now M is mezzo, P is quiet. P is piano. So mezzo is moderate, piano is quiet, so moderately quiet, sort of middle quiet. There we go. And this here, staccato, means detached. So that's that question completed. I do hope that's helpful to you. We'll look at the next question in the next video. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please do share out the videos, and please do visit sharonbill.com and have a browse around all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.